Hello, this is Lady Lex UK and this is a Dreams tutorial. Today I'm going to show you some stop motion lip syncing that I've put on my character, the pub landlady. I'm going to show you how I've done it. So let's go into play mode and show you her in action. So here she is, and she can walk around and whatever normal things that characters can do. But I've also got some D-pad calls. So if I press left on the D-pad,
hello,
she says hello. And if I press up,
would you like a beer?
She says beer. And you'll notice that she is also blinking, gives her a bit of life. So she looks like a character that's alive rather than just a stiff puppet. Right then, let's go into her and see how it's done. So let's scope in. And when you get this, the purple stand, you can have a go at the puppet logic. Let's open that up. Okay, let's have a look at the first thing I've added, and that's a blink timeline. And this adds a blink game mechanic to my character. And the principle that is in here is how I've done all of the animations. So once you've worked out how to do this, you should be able to work out how to do the others. Now, first thing we need to do is we need to change our show and hides. So we need to change our preview invisibility. We take that off, and we need to turn X-ray on. That way we can see everything. Turn that off now. Okay, so now you can see on her face we've got some eyelids and lots of mouthpieces, which you couldn't see before because they were invisible. Now how you do that is, let's start with it and show you the eyes. Let me scope in. Right, these two eyes are one sculpt. So I made one eyelid, cloned it, but that is now, so that's one sculpt in the same place. So if I do the square, so left one, L1 and square, it'll open up this menu. So click on the thing that looks like, I don't know what they're called, one of those little balls on chain machine things. Click on one of those, and as you can see, the eyelids are normally invisible. This is grayed out. So normally it looks like that, but this has been grayed out. They are now invisible and you can't see them. The reason we can see them now is because we changed that setting there. So we can now see them. So you make your eyelids invisible. Then what we do is we go into animate and we create a keyframe. So we put that down and we then make that visible and then stop recording. So all that's done is change that setting. With this keyframe, those eyelids will now be visible for that single keyframe. So I'll just delete that. So I've put that keyframe, I've put that keyframe inside this timeline. So this is 0.04 seconds, like this, 0.04 seconds, and I've put it in the middle. Now you may want to change the speed of this to get it blinking how you like, but this is pretty much how I like to have it for a sort of a natural blink. They are blinking regularly. If you like, you can set this up with a randomizer to make it a little bit more random, but I don't think it's a problem to have a regular blink on a character. It looks fine. It's fine. So you put your keyframe that you've made in the middle there, and you set this up so that it's on a loop, like so. And there is your blink animation. So what happens is it travels along here, and when it hits that keyframe for the length of time it's doing that. And you might want to make this bigger or smaller. You can resize these keyframes using the up and down like this. Obviously the longer that your keyframe is activated, the longer that the eyelids will be visible, so the longer their eyes are shut. Okay, so this will just run through and it'll hit that and they'll be visible and then they'll be invisible again. So visible, invisible, visible, invisible. That's how that works. Make sure when you put your timeline in that it's turned on. Sorry, I meant to press this one. So if it's greyed out like this, it's not going to work. Make sure the power is on. And this will then make your character blink. So there we go. That's the first stage. Now we're going to use this exact same principle to do the stop motion on our mouths as well. So what I've done, I've gone online and there are various. You just type in lip sync animation mouth, lip sync animation, and you should find lots and lots of sheets. Some of them are actually like Aardman animation style mouths, which is similar to what I've done here. There's also drawn mouths, ordinary drawn animations, but whatever you use, you're going to make a series of mouths that represents a sound, the sound that a person could make with their mouth. Now I've gone for a very simple 7 mouth set. Obviously the more mouths you use, the more realistic the mouth movement can look, but obviously your thermo will go up because you're using more pieces. But it's entirely up to you what you use and how you do it. So we do exactly the same as we had before. So these mouthpieces, let me just see if I can grab one. I think I've got one. That's one. Yeah, let's pull it out. There we go. These mouthpieces are normally invisible. They cannot be seen. So again, so if I just do this, it's invisible. There we go. So that's an invisible mouth. And what I've done is I do the same thing again. I make a keyframe that just turns the visibility on. And I've named those. Now if we go into Control Logic, this is where I've put my timelines. Now let's have a look at the hello one. There we are. So you can see our keyframes here. That's a mouth E, that's a mouth L, and that's a mouth O. So that's yellow, hello. So you can see that would make the word hello. And here is my sound of me saying hello. I'll show you how to do that, but unfortunately, because of my setup and the way that I record, I have no microphone attached to my controller. It deactivates the microphone as soon as I'm putting it through the PC to record. So I can't show you the method because it just disappears. But I can tell you how to do it. Okay, so you make your sound effect, and you can see here, you can see the waveform, and you can use this to help to put the positioning of where you want your keyframes to be, and you want to make sure that these are all touching each other, so that you don't have a gap. You don't want a gap between you don't want the mouths disappearing, unless of course you want to show the standard mouth. Now the standard mouth, which is just the straight line, which is the mouth that you see normally. So if I go and turn this back on, I think you can just about see she's got like a little straight mouth like that. Now this is the exact opposite of these other mouths in that it is normally visible, and then you create a keyframe to make it invisible, like so. So this is our keyframe. I should have named this actually, so let's do that. Keyframe, straight mouth. Actually, let's call it mouth M. There we go, that's mouth M. And these are gonna run, this mouth M this is going to be invisible throughout this entire thing. So let's make that bigger. There we go. So the entire thing, it's going to be completely invisible. So these are visible at these particular points. This is invisible the entire time. And I can reduce the size of this canvas down. So this is the full thing there. Or there's a little gap. I put a little tiny little gap in after she's spoken. This keyframe here is the head movement. So what you do there is you put your keyframe down, you move her head, and that's the animation there, and you just pop that down in there, and this is our entire hello animation. There we go. Now, the way this works here, I've got a left button press, which activates a counter. And when that counter is full, that turns on the power on our timeline. So it runs through the animation. And when the animation is finished, it then resets that counter. So you can press the button again. And this is the same for Would You Like a Beer? Let me just show you that. Whoops. There we go. A little bit more complicated. A few more mouth shapes. And there they are all there. And you'll notice that sometimes I want the straight mouth to show. So we've got the straight mouth showing in little tiny little bits here. So we've got it not showing here. So I got that M sound. So there's a gap. So we can see that. And this is 3 keyframes of movement, because it's a bit more complicated because she's raising up the beer, and this is her head movement, which I did separately. So this is her arm, and this is her head. And that is the Would You Like a Beer animation. Now, how to create a sound, your own voice. Right, what you need to do, first of all, is go into Animate, and make sure that this microphone is ticked on. And then when you go into mode, you go into sound mode, you go into tools, and you click on this sound recorder, and it picks up a sound stamp. Exactly the same as those keyframe ones that you did. You place it down, and as soon as you place it down, it starts to record your voice. So start talking straight away. So you place it down, start talking, blah, 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 and then you press stop recording. Now, like I said, because my microphone is not connected up, it won't place anything. It's completely invisible. So that won't work. But for you, that will work, and it will create your wave. And I've done that again. I'm always pressing the wrong buttons. Right, there we go. There is our sound wave there. That's Would You Like a Beer? And there you go. And that's how the stop frame animation works. Okay, so check out the internet. There are lots of mouth sheets that you can use. And also, if you want to do stop frame animation for other things, such as animal leg movement, etc., there's plenty of those too. You can make little dogs, you can make horses, wolves, cats, whatever you want to do using this method. You just place the different positions of your arms and legs and things like that. You stop the frame and just move them around and create your movement. There we go, stop frame animation in Dreams, and that's lip syncing. Hope that was useful. Thanks for watching, and catch you in your dreams.